makeup managers here. These are our makeup trailers. These are the two big ones, and then we have a smaller one behind you. We get roughly about anywhere between 130 to 180 actors in for each night. We have about 20 makeup artists, so we are pumping and grinding them out. So basically we have about 10 to 15 minutes per scare actor. They usually come in, they have all their costumes on. We usually have a line that wraps around. But they have like certain call times where they come. We start off with featured actors first, so the featured actors are the ones in their house that play like one of the main roles. Those are the ones that will like really stand out. And so we spend a little bit more time on them because you're focused a little bit more on them. And then we do airbrushing, we do body painting, depending how visible they are, we go down the arms and pockets. We just try to really like bring it to life for you guys. Yeah, definitely.
Take it through both sides of this way.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can come on in and kind of see how we set up our station.
We can take half through here too.
Yeah,
These are set up identically.
I'm not sure if the food trail is open too.
So each of our makeup artists have their own workstations that are set up. I've done makeup here for a number of years as well, that do special effects makeup. And again, you have, for some actors, if you're doing maybe 5-minute makeup jobs, some you're doing 10 to 12 minutes, some feature actors up to 15 minutes at a time. So we have all the airbrush stations. Each makeup artist is responsible for cleaning up and maintaining their workspace as we go through. So the line comes in the way you just came in, and then as they're processed, the finished makeups go out the back over here.
It does get warm, so depending on like the temperature, it gets warm and it gets really hot too. So, I mean really cold. Very cold. So the nights that it dips down to like 30 degrees, I mean we have little like heaters actually built in there, but we have to keep the doors open to have the actors come in and out, but you know, it's something.
So again, it's about 5 to 12, 15 minutes depending on...
We're huge on sanitation too, big time, especially working with so many actors and on so many bases.
Those are doing the small room across the hall. More complex makes are done in here, especially the airbrushing and everything else.
Yeah.
It's a production line.
Do you use prosthetics too, or just?
So we have a no latex rule here, just because so many people have latex allergies. We do use like pure gum and tissues to build up to make 3D effects and stuff like that. But like for special events, like if we're painting on stage or something like that, we do.
The doors on both sides open, and we do put a fin in.
But we have like talk tricks to the rest of the artists to kind of like with paint make it look like 3D, you know? Yeah.
And we also have, unfortunately, it does wash up, so if it's a warm night, then people start to sweat. So we do keep makeup artists here throughout the night to do touch-ups as we go through, especially after.
Any questions on anything?
Yeah, so the line
Tell me.
this side, and then use for the houses.
Yeah.
So generally people are going to sign in first, the town trailer, I'll be signing people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do and they fall apart.
And then,
Yeah, so I mean, you could use like a Prozade, which is like an adhesive,
so by staggering
and you
that,
can
we're actually
dip
still
like
making up people
cotton
for the end of the show.
swab. It's called Prozade.
So
You can get it on Amazon. Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to like protect them a little bit.
I'll stay away from the eyebrows.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna do it, like you definitely want to put Vaseline over your eyebrows and then around it with the Prozade and then stick it up. So therefore, you're not ripping all the hair. Yeah, absolutely.
Makeup descriptions.
Let's go.
very small.
So each house has a specific description that we kind of go over, because we're looking for certain looks for each house, and there's a lot of houses. Some houses get strictly mass, but I would say the majority of that, like we just do their faces. Okay, so the first one is catacombs. So nuns with bleeding eyes, priests with bleeding eyes. Some people like to do demonic symbols. Some people don't like that painted on them, but it's kind of like their choice. This right here is one of my favorite. This is a cemetery. I don't know if you guys have walked through there before, but it's a lot of like exposed skeleton, and then that blue light that shines on them like really makes them really stand out. It's really cool.
Can I just ask you what the name of the book is?
We just wrote the Haunted Graveyard like Compounce. Yeah, we just kind of just made like a little reference book. So like if the artist is kind of like stuck or confused or like
Buy that.
no, or they need a little inspo. This is actually a book of like every artist, like that, like that did work.
When I first used to come to the Haunted Graveyard, I always used to think there were a lot of prosthetics being used, and there's really not. The 3D effects you use are actually all done really by the makeup artist. So there's not a lot of problems with rubber peeling off people's faces. And the makeup effects, honestly, with the show lighting, I think is probably even more effective than having a prosthetic, because you can actually control the shading. You can control if something is supposed to be sunken or sticking out a little bit more, highlighted.
And which you guys will see, because I'm actually going to do a demo for you guys, so you guys can see like how I really like make certain parts stick out and whatnot. Slaughterhouse is pretty cool. This is more gory, and we try to, when it comes to features, we try to get, there's certain makeup artists that are strong in certain things. Like somebody might be super detailed, so we'll put them like in manner. Somebody will be really good at gore makeup and look really bloody, so we'll give them that. This is kind of a new one that we just started kind of playing around with. In one of our haunts, I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's all like the gray camo, and with the fog, so nobody knows when somebody's gonna jump out at you. If you look on the wall, where the fog is actually coming out, there's actually stone-like faces that are on the wall. So that's what we're really trying to kind of portray. We've done in the past where we did complete camo over their face, and like that way they blend in the wall. So that was cool too. Vampires. I'm actually going to be doing a vampire for you guys today. She's going to be the vampire bride. She's actually she's actually going to be my feature for the year. So it's pretty cool. In vampires, she has this big red light, so like it just beams on her, so she gets full lighting. It's pretty cool. Witches. So we do a lot of like, we do different types of witches. We do like witches that look like they're possessed, with, satanic symbols on them. We do witches who are all wrinkly and like old hags,
No green faces, though.
Yeah, no typical like Wizard of Oz faces.
Not anymore.
Yeah. This is Temple. Temple's a really cool one to like really get creative on. It's a lot of like tribal work. We have a lot of different goddesses: water goddess, fire goddess.
Is that like a 3D art?
Yeah. So I mean, you could really go crazy with those. This is Hell Holler. It's a bunch of hillbillies. That's where the chainsaw guy likes to hang out, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. But there's a lot of surprises this year that are definitely new. But it's a lot of gore. This is Manor. This is actually my favorite house out of the whole haunt. It's a haunted house inside of a haunted house. But it's all like, they're all like dead people pretty much, and they all have specific roles. So when they come sit in our chair, our first thing is, how'd you die? So and they'll kind of tell us, so we kind of portray their makeup.
So do the actors decide how they die, or is that assigned to them?
No, it's assigned to them. There's actually a storyline behind it. Do you know the storyline of Manor?
I think Ernie could probably explain it more with Lord Bill and Lord.
Hey Drea, do you know the story of Manor?
You want to ask the backstory?
do.
Drea will help you in
do
that.
have
Full
that
accurate
story.
Hi. You guys all having a good day? Yes. Good. I'm Drea. I'm one of the talent directors here. I help hire and train all the actors with my co-talent director, Jess, who is not here at the moment. But the Manor is, basically, there is a family called the Delamort family, and they had a few kids, and one of them, Annabelle, she ended up drowning in the lake. And Mr. Delamort, in his grief, killed everybody in the house. Okay. He killed his other kids. He killed all the servants. Everybody that was there.
The maid.
The maid. Everybody that is in that house is dead. Just
Done.
Just went absolutely berserk and killed everybody.
They don't all know it.
They don't know it. They don't know it. So when you're walking through, they will ask you if you would like to stay for dinner or if you have seen the children of the house. Fun fact, we do have a new feature actor this year who is the governess, who is actually the only living member in that entire household who reportedly killed Mr. Delamort herself.
That's pretty cool. That was a little twist. I like that.
We added that this year. So
I like that. Yeah. I know when I started the feature.
Yeah.
Dungeons is a really, really cool house. There's a lot of victims, a lot of torturers. There's a lot of torture devices in there. That's another house that when they sit down, it's a how'd you die, you know? There's burning, there's a lot of craziness going on there. So what we try to do is we try to like really portray how they died and where they are in the set. Plays a major role. But I have to say, when I walk through, me and the other makeup manager, we try to walk through as often as we can, just to look at faces, look at lighting, make sure that everything is perfect for you guys. But we walked through last year in Dungeons, and by the time we walked out of there, we looked at each other, and we were like, wow, like that blew us away. They did amazing. And the last one, which is kind of a newer house, I should say, is Zombie Hospital. So, self-explanatory, zombie outbreak in a hospital. I believe there's a surgeon. Is there a surgeon or a doctor? Yeah. But
He's the only living member who is still trying to fight off the zombie hordes.
yes. And what I don't have pictures of, but I love so much, is the newest house, which is the Voodoo Swamp. Yes. So I get to do the Shadow Man every night, who is basically a voodoo witch doctor, and we have a lot of fun with that. But no, he does a really good job. But it's really cool.
The zombie hospital was built around the ambulance. The ambulance was in storage for 3 or 4 years, and I said, why don't we use it? And that's when I came up with the idea. I found that by pure accident, that car.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys can agree, everybody loves zombies, right? Yeah.
What we're going to do is, Waldo, I'm sorry.
Oh, he had a question.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Basically what I was asked was the guy, like the guy you can see on the website, because there's like this guy with like a cane with the skeleton thing, and I swear I saw him on the website, like, he's like, I think he's like almost like the main guy who like is the mascot. Like,
Let me see. Do you do the website or do you know the website? No.
it's the main like Compounce website.
Well, as you go through the show tonight, you'll be able to decide for yourself.
Is everybody going through tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome. So cool. Yeah.
How do you learn all this?
And to be honest with you, me personally, I've always had a thing for makeup, and I have always have done stuff for friends before I even started working here. But I feel like when I first started here, I learned a lot, and now I'm to the point where I do body paint competitions and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean,
Because of here?
a lot of it's because of here. Yeah.
You've also trained for a famous person too. You get a little classwork too.
Yeah, I had some classwork with Tyler Green from Face Off. Yeah, I took one of his prosthetics class. It's a 10-week course. Yeah, it's really cool. You learn a lot. But yeah, I mean, some people get degrees for it. Some people are self-taught. But a lot of it I learned through here too. So, especially like fast pace, you know, because you can get carried away. But this is quick. This is fast pace. Yeah.
So do the actors go through acting training for the different?
Yeah, and Drea, do you
We'll
want to
talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
After training later in the day.
Yeah.
If anybody has to use the bathrooms, they're right there, male and female. If not, you want to wait for 5 minutes, you can walk in the park and the bathrooms, real bathrooms are there. Let's walk through this way. We're going to show you the food trailer. This way you've seen everything behind the scenes, okay? Every athlete gets fed.